Hello everyone, welcome to Royal Mystic's first little tarot talk here. We're going to have a conversation and a little bit of education for those of you who have been asking me to know more about tarot, to understand the readings that you're getting. Just from the get-go, this is my perspective, this is the method I use, and it's the information that I rely on. There are as many ways to read tarot as there are stars in the sky. It is all about your divine gift and how you're guided, and my interpretations of the cards don't always strictly adhere to the definition, quote unquote. Now, one thing I want to say is the old interpretations of the cards are not something I feel comfortable with, which is why I don't read in reverse. You always have your creative license to read the way you feel comfortable. Don't let anyone push you into doing something that you feel is not your wheelhouse. This is your gift, this is your ability, and that's the beautiful part of it, is that you get to do it the way you read. It's like your thumbprint. It is your original, it is your voice, and it is from divine. So however divine speaks through you and causes you to see, that is your gift. So be strong in that for yourself. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is we have a specific set of cards here. This is one of my main decks that I use. It is called the Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti, or Marchetti. It is a very strong visual deck for me. I feel like it's very positive. Other tarot cards are based on the Rider-Waite design. You'll hear that a lot. There are two main kinds of tarot decks. There's Rider-Waite and there's Lenormand. Lenormand is a different deck. It has the symbols of the actual playing cards. So it's a complete different read, and it relies on a different method. It's like another language. You always want to know what particular language you want to speak with your cards, and this is a more modern vision as far as I'm concerned, because it's got the beautiful artwork and positive, wonderful kind of dreamy landscape going on. It's not that real stark negative connotation of some of the cards you'll see later as we go through. And I just identify with this deck. You are more than free to pick any deck you want. I'm using this one as an example. We will talk about different decks later on, but this is the one we're going to start with. And just know that you can apply this information to most any deck. Now, sometimes the interpretations are different. We'll talk about it in another video. But for now, this is our very grassroots beginning here. We have 22 cards in the major arcana. There are 78 cards in the deck total. Each of those decks consist of 4 suits with the major arcana. The 4 suits have court cards, which are the king, queen, knight, and page. The rest are 1 through 10 of that suit. Now, each one of the suits have a specific meaning. Okay, so the major arcana is more like event, active energy for events, and these suits are telling you who the players are and sort of the energy of what their role is. Now, when we start with this, you notice that we start with a 0. Okay, our 0 is the beginning and end. Just like when I talk about our beautiful readings, I talk about a beginning and ending simultaneously. So that's no coincidence that it means it's the first card and last card. So this kind of tells its own story. The Fool is the story, the journey of this whole little major arcana is the journey of the Fool through the different cycles of life. So we have the 0, which is the beginning and ending. The manifestation, bringing the idea in. The High Priestess, going to Soul Source to claim it. The Empress and Emperor, which are the divine creative energy. The Hierophant. The Lovers. I'm going to move these down because we'll talk about them in a minute. The Chariot. Strength, the Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, the Justice card, So you can see the story unfolding. I'm going to move these over. I'll get them in a minute. When you get a deck, they are already in this order. And you should always count your deck, by the way. That's something my mentor taught me. So there's always the energy going of these wonderful cards. I'm going to hold these till the last. So we have, let's talk about the Fool. That's your adventure beginning, okay? New cycle. The Magician, bringing in the ability to have the thought of the adventure. Let's draw it into us and begin with the energy itself. Connecting that energy to the universe. The universe answering, the seed is planted and now it's growing. The Emperor, which is the masculine energy, you have to have two to tango, right? The Hierophant, being granted admittance. The Lovers, joining with your physical, spiritual, and divine. The Chariot, now we're moving. The Chariot is very fast moving, victory energy. Now, even though we're in the Chariot and everything looks great, we've got the Strength card coming in because it is a long journey and we're going to need our fortitude. You've got the Hermit. Even though the path gets bleak and stark, we're keeping our light lit and we're still moving forward. Wheel of Fortune, all obstacles being removed, divine timing comes in, things start to move again in a very fast pace. The Justice card coming in and allowing the weighing up of things and moving forward. As the decision is made and the judgment is, the justice of the situation is made, you've got the Hanged Man coming in and taking a big look at the picture, the bigger picture. The Death card, releasing things that no longer serve you. Things being laid out before you and being in a place of having to be patient and let things work as they will. The Devil card, facing your fear. Breaking down old obstacles with the Tower, moving forward. Some enlightenment coming in, source energy connecting and having some wonderful soul-moving energy coming in. I'm just telling you the story of this Fool here. The Moon, divine timing and things in development, spiritual opening. So you have the spiritual awakening here. Now it's being put to use. Okay, the Moon card is the development of that spiritual awakening and spirituality manifesting through you. The all things coming full circle, the Sun card coming in and the manifestation actually starting to occur. This is the imminent success, okay, and the universe providing all the things that have been manifesting, everything coming into alignment. The Judgment card, this is the resurrection, something being resurrected, reincarnated, feeling like maybe you were lost, now you're found, okay? The World card, the success, the victory, achieving the top of the mountain, the top of the world, right back to the Fool. So that's a cycle for him, okay? Now, as the major arcana, each of these things also have different identifiers as your zodiac, okay? We are here to understand what the major arcana and minor arcana are of tarot. Now, the major arcana are you see these beautiful figures, and they're more like events that happen in your life, but they're more than that. So you've got the starts off with 0, and it moves through. There are 22 cards. Okay, so there are so many different cards in tarot, just to give you a picture of what's laying before you. But these particular ones are set up, you'll hear people talking about them being one of the zodiac signs. So I have it set up starting with Capricorn and ending with Sagittarius, just like the months of the year. These are the major arcana cards for each zodiac sign. Now, as you understand this is one rule of thumb. There are many, many, many interpretations. Other people may have a different idea, but this is my rule of thumb, and this is one I follow. So I can teach you what I know. If you choose to do something different, it's still your call. Tarot and intuition in any kind of divination is all about what your skill is. Another thing that I do not do is I do not read in reverse. This is not something that I feel comfortable doing. So my method is by what my soul tells me is my gift. So I'm going to share that with you. If you don't agree, thank you. Have a nice day. I'm just telling you, I'm answering the people that want to know. I'm giving you what I know. So Capricorn is the devil card. You can tell that by looking at the pentagram in the back. Okay. The Capricorn is the coins. All right. And we have the star card, which is the Aquarian. You see she's sifting the water back and forth through the vessels. Then we have the Pisces, which is the moon, and the moon and the water. Okay. Lots of things being formed. Very soulful. We have the Emperor, which is the Aries. Then we have the Hierophant, which is Taurus. Of course, the Lovers is the Gemini. I'm going to put my focus on. I don't think I did that. Then we have the Chariot, which is Cancer. Cancer, you have a very prestigious card. Now, for a long time, I thought that because there's a crab, I mean, there's interchangeables. And this is one of the things I kind of read this differently, because I see the crab and I think Cancer. But, and your interpretation of the cards is your interpretation. Each one of these cards, each deck is designed differently, so you will interpret it different. Trust me, not every card gets the same energy, even though it's the same card in a different deck. This is the Leo. The Hermit is the Virgo, which kind of makes sense because Virgos, they try to stay rigid. They're pretty much set in their ways. Justice card is the Libra, balance. They see the scales of justice. Justice being served. The Death card is Scorpio. And Temperance is the Sagittarius. The Sagittarius, the fire sign, there it is. Now, each one of these has its own zodiac sign. But each one of the decks of the suits, sorry, not the decks, the suits individually have their own zodiac signs as well. So they're grouped together in these decks. You've got Earth, 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 Earth. Okay, so Devil, Taurus, Virgo. Devil is the Capricorn, sorry. Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Earth signs. Air signs. Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. That's the air signs with the swords. So coins is the earth, air is the swords. Cups are water. Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And of course the rods, you can see that real easy. The flame, fire signs, which would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So the four suits also coincide with how it moves. Now I want to show you something that I noticed when I was learning, because I would write down, you know, the different signs. So I started with Capricorn, and if you notice, you go earth, air, water, fire. Earth, air, water, fire. Earth, air, water, fire. So that's a really cool way to help you remember who's what You know, as you're learning your tarot, it's all about memorization at first, and then when you get to doing it, it just comes. You just remember. Besides, most of this is about intuition. So you don't have to stick rigidly to all fundamentals. I'm telling you what the bases are, and from there you branch out, and there's no wrong way, in my opinion. Others may differ from that, but I feel like this is something that is a divine gift, and no one can really tell you how to use your gift. So that's our first little lesson. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope it made sense to you. We'll have more to come. Many blessings to you all. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.